So, we came up with our heist team.
What?
You were there.
You were
It was
there.
at your apartment.
Oh.
During game night.
Right. Okay.
You not remember?
I remember. I just forgot for a second because...
Okay. So we're doing a heist film, and this is, like, going to be the greatest movie ever. So I'm going to be the leader, the mastermind of this. Like, I bring the whole group together after, several years, and they're all like, Maya, we don't want to do this. I'm like, guys, we have to do this.
Yeah, you bring us
And
back.
I bring
and
them
maybe
back.
we, don't trust each other at first.
Yeah.
But then, we come together.
We come together again,
Okay.
So I'm the mastermind. So Rosie.
You plan everything.
Rosie.
I'm the grifter. I used all these terms from Leverage, which you should all watch. It's great.
Okay.
But it basically means that I have to... What you said, you have to wear a dress.
There's always...
have to go in and, distract people or get information from them and use my charm.
Your sexuality.
Like, sexuality. Like, she's like the seductress, she goes in... Like, Paula Patton in Mission Impossible 4.
Just make everyone fall in love with me.
Yeah. Like, that's the way you do it.
Cool.
And then I am the acrobat, we've decided, even though I can't do acrobats.
You're the one that we can't... You're the bait and
I'm
switch.
also the one that... Okay.
You're the bait and switch.
You guys can't trust me. Oh, which one is it?
Yeah.
I think it's both. Like, you do the,
I'm in it for
and
myself.
It's great because she's also not on our Obiegame team.
Don't tell them. No one's playing Obiegame. I don't know what that is.
All right, ready, and action.
Welcome everybody to Chicks Dig Flicks episode 17. I don't know. I've lost track.
I don't even...
Episode 17. So I'm Anna.
I'm Maya.
I'm Rosie.
And here we go into our news for April 5th, 2015. So our first piece of news, it's a pretty slow news week, you guys.
So slow, guys.
So our first piece of news is that Disney is planning a live-action Winnie the Pooh film. That's news. I'm interested in that,
This is the one that came out, Ugh.
So this came out a couple days ago. Hollywood Reporter is reporting that there's going to be a live-action Winnie the Pooh film, and it's going to have Christopher Robin, Winnie's human pal, will return as an adult to revisit Pooh's hangout in the 100-acre wood.
What?
So
this just came out after Mulan has been released as a live action, and now they're developing Beauty and the Beast. They just made Cinderella. They're doing all these
the Disney films.
I don't know how I feel about when Dumbo. They're doing Dumbo. What are they gonna do next? Like, I'm just like, which one do you think?
So is Pooh alive?
I'm imagining Ted.
I was like, I think this is gonna be like a CGI thing in files, and this is.
I don't like it.
Is the movie going to be about Christopher Robin, which is, really weird because, he was, a pretty minor character in the original animated show.
Yeah, he just came to visit them.
Yeah, he was just, their reason for existing, but...
Why? I just... why do we need all these, live act... I mean, it's money things, so I just... Winnie the Pooh, out of all of them, Dumbo, too, was, a weird thing, too. But, Winnie the Pooh,
That's just going to be weird. It's not going to be... I think they're going to make some crude jokes. I'm imagining, how they did Cat in the Hat live action, and there was, kind of some, weird bathroom humor, and it was just, not...
Oh, my God.
It was just weird.
And it's not,
tricky.
something that lends itself to this,
No.
Alice in Wonderland, I understand.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of, surrealist, and, it works. And Winnie the Pooh is just, it's going to be so strange.
Yeah. I feel like it's so kiddie, I don't know.
It's so innocent.
It's so innocent that it's, won't work. I feel like when you put it in human form or live action form, there's a certain kind of cynicism that comes with this form because I don't know. You see more if they're doing more action sequences or something. There's more of that action and grittiness. So what does
there's nothing.
Winnie the Pooh is a gritty movie.
I mean,
it's that great SNL thing.
What?
The Bambi one.
Yeah, the Bambi remake.
Oh, I haven't
with
seen that.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and he's Bambi.
It's so good.
And he has all his forest friends to come out, and they're it's an action movie.
I have seen some interesting theories on Tumblr about how Winnie the Pooh is about Eeyore has depression, Piglet has anxiety, Rabbit is narcissism, and I don't remember.
Winnie is me.
Tigger is ADHD.
Oh.
And I don't know, Kanga's probably just fine. Kanga's well adjusted. But I don't think that's what they're gonna do. I'm wondering who's gonna play adult Christopher Robin. I was thinking
Elijah Wood.
Yeah, maybe.
He's small enough. I feel like
he's an adult though.
He looks 25.
Kids are small. It doesn't mean he's gonna be small when he's old.
I was thinking, what's his face? The guy you don't like with the long face we were talking about. Mad Men.
John Hamm?
John Hamm.
Really?
Hamm.
John Hamm?
He's too old.
He's an adult.
Yeah, but I was thinking, like, adult as in we're adults.
Oh, okay.
Or, maybe like 25.
Oh, so someone like young
maybe
that we
like
don't know.
Daniel Radcliffe.
I just said Elijah Wood, and then you're going to go with Daniel Radcliffe?
Fine.
Like,
Rosie, do you have any dream cast for Christopher Robin?
I really don't. My dream is that this film not get made.
I know. God. All right.
I tried to drag that out for as long as I can, but on to our third piece of news, which is Fast and Furious 7 had to one of the theaters in New York had to stay open later. It stayed open all night because of such a big demand to see this movie. So the movie theater AMC Fresh Meadows 7 in Queens hasn't closed its doors since Fast and Furious opened on Thursday night. That's probably not true anymore. This article's a little old. I'm sure they've closed their doors since Thursday. But, so yeah, they had to stay open late, offered round-the-clock showings for the final movie from the late Paul Walker.
Damn, they got reclined seats.
No wonder people
installed plush red leather reclining seats, offered expanded food choices.
It's not that great.
But
Actually,
I mean,
it's pretty great.
They started.
Did you go to the one on 84th Street? They renovated it too.
Do they put a bar now? Like,
there was no bar.
oh, there's one at mine.
Ooh, we don't have
like
a
they have a bar now, like in the theater.
Yeah.
Like
in the theater.
Like there. I was like, shit. This
I've
is
been to
like.
one of those.
They had like 50 Shades of Grey like specials for the movie coming out. I was like,
That makes
I
sense.
want it. But like,
I was just thinking from this, like, if I was working at that movie theater, I'd be pissed. They'd be like, all right, we're staying open all night now because of the demand. I'll be like, no,
Well,
I'm going
hopefully
home.
They give you overtime.
they probably
Yeah,
do
I mean,
overtime.
they hope
Or they
they
probably
do.
do it in shifts like they.
Yeah.
Would you see a movie? Okay, so they have it at the bottom of this article, like the times that you could see this movie. Would you see a movie at 4 a.m. or 3:20?
Oh, you can see it at
like
4 a.m.
right before work.
God.
Like you can see it like some of these sold out like 3:20 like 3:20 in the morning sold out.
Well, our listeners should comment and tell us if
Would
there's
you?
any movie that you would go see at 4 a.m.
Because they did.
It would not be Fast and Furious.
They did it for
No.
the Dark Knight series and Harry Potter. So those are like pretty. I would do it for Catching
Get your
Fire.
tickets early
I
and
would do
go
it
at
for
midnight.
Right,
Why
I was
don't
like,
you
just
go
get
at
your
4
life
a.m.?
together.
I would do it. I would do it at Hunger Games. Like I would just sleep and then go see it again.
But
Like
why?
Is that the only time you can see
no,
it,
I'm
or are
not
there
the
other
only
times?
time, but like if I was just like bored, I would, like if I was
You
like could
couldn't
not sleep,
sleep,
if I
okay.
could not sleep, like
That
that
is
time
fine,
where
yeah.
you like sleep too much, and then you like are just up for a really long time, I would see it then.
So New York City that never sleeps, the place where this can happen.
I guess.
All right, next piece of news, also about the Fast and Furious, which is that Furious 7 audience 75% non-white inside the diversity stats is the title of this article. And the first line is an ethnically diverse cast is paying off in a big way for Furious 7. So according to, I guess, Universal 75% of the audience in North America to see Fast and Furious 7 was non-white. And it says, they say Hispanics, we might say Latino, was 37% of the majority ticket buyers, followed by 25% white, 24% African American, 10% Asian, and 4% other. So this is interesting. That's an interesting piece of news. Pretty kind of cool.
Yeah, because they said now like Hispanics / Latinos are like now the most frequent like moviegoers in the U.S. and it's been for like they've had like studies for like since the 2010s started, like that's been a
And I
big
guess Michelle Rodriguez is Latina. She's in this film. Is there any other Latina actors in this film?
I think there's so many, but I can't like I don't know.
Is this cast as diverse as they're saying? I haven't seen it.
Yeah, Michelle. So you have Dwayne Johnson, who's like Hawaiian and black. Tyrese Gibson, black. Ludacris. Digimon Honsu. I know him, like the guy. And Tony Jaa is directed by an Asian man. And then you have like Jason Statham and Paul Walker as your white guys, which are like.
There's an interesting quote in here from, I guess, box office analyst Paul Dergabedian. I'm so sorry, Paul. I don't know how to pronounce your
If
name.
you're listening.
But he says there is literally someone within the cast that is relatable on some level to nearly every moviegoer around the world. And this has paid big dividends at the box office and also in terms of how casting decisions will be made in the future for these types of large-scale action epics, which was like maybe a little like broad to say literally everyone can see themselves in this film.
Right.
But it's interesting that he predicts this is going to change how action movie casting is going to go.
It's weird because this film has been out for 15 years. These films have been filmed, and they've always been ethnically diverse. I mean, if you think about Tokyo Drift, they had like, what is it, Romeo or Bow Wow in Tokyo? So they've always had these ethnically diverse. They've made huge money for the past, 5 years that they've came out, like the last 2 movies. So what all of a sudden it's like, now this movie will finally put up some diversity. I'm like, this movie has always existed with so many like diverse casts and the same people. Oh, Vin Diesel's in the movie. I forgot. And he's a person of color.
Yeah.
So like, let's go. Like, I don't know, like, by the time, like, now this is finally, like, I guess
people care more now.
Now they probably care more, than 2011.
Maybe.
So.
I mean, it's a nice idea, I guess, but.
I just hope people don't see it as, this is happening, so we're, like, everything is better now. Diversity.
Yeah. Look at Fast and Furious 7, which... I don't know how many women are in this movie, but it seems like one.
It's like one, and then maybe like background, like love interest, or like sexual interest. Most likely, it's not love, sexual.
So I don't know about the idea that one woman of color is gonna make all women of color feel represented in this movie, but.
I love the Bambi, parody when they have Michelle Rodriguez as the other Bambi, like, the female Bambi. Like, she's not her own character, but, like, it's funny because she's always like that in every movie that you see her in. She's, like, the male version of, but in a female body. So, it's, like, it's good, but we could do better.
Keep trying.
Look at us. We're not even appreciating.
I
appreciate it, but
I
I
think
want
it's
more.
Cool. I also think it's cool that, I don't know how they got the statistics, but I think it's cool that it's a diverse people buying the tickets.
Yeah.
And they know that
and that they're reporting on that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of times that's probably true other times, but people are still trying to make movies for white men.
Yeah.
But so that's it for news. Pretty short news week. If we missed anything important that happened this week, let us know.
There's like a porn parody coming out of Guardians of the Galaxy
I
called Narnias of the Galaxy. So check that out when it comes out.
I thought we were cutting the news story about
That's all I said about it.
Galaxy of the Guardians porno, but yeah, check that out if you're
Nardians.
interested. Nardians. God. All right, I think it's time to move on to
Trailer Trash Talk.
That's almost did it.
So good.
Almost.
So we got 2 since our news was so short. This one recently came out for HBO Films. BESSIE, who, if you don't know, Bessie Smith is a blues singer during the earliest 20th century, and she is played by Queen Latifah. So
find the link.
Find the link
in the description. Cue it up, and we're gonna
I haven't
play
seen it. Have you seen it?
I've seen it.
I've not seen it.
Okay.
It came on Tumblr, so I saw it.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Remember what I told you about the blue?
What's that actress?
You're not risking nothing.
Oh, taking off her eyelashes.
What's your name, pretty lady? Bessie Smith. With the good music, the good food, and the good liquor.
Also, she's bisexual.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I love period pieces.
Yeah. Oh, and Queen Latifah needs to be in more stuff.
What the heck is negative?
He says fuck, but it says hell.
By Mama's Gravy. I guess you think you something. We do not feel George fits for Black Swan Records. It's about damn time she start taking advice from people that don't wear no stage makeup. You better turn your damn
Monique, she has been blacklisted, so this is great that I get to see her.
Oh, yeah. That was interesting.
She's been blacklisted?
Yeah. But I'm excited for this because...
So it's an HBO.
HBO. So as Candy Alexander, Mike Epps, Tita... Oh, man.
It's
It's gone, so we can't...
That looks good. I wish it was coming to theaters.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, so it's, Bessie is like a really, she was openly, I don't know if she was openly bisexual, but people knew she was bisexual. Mm-hmm. And, one of the greatest blues singers. I'm excited. Yeah. And, Monique was blacklisted because she did not play the game. And so it made it hard for her to get any... recognition after that and get jobs because she was going to be in Empire as Cookie Lyons, but then they went with someone else.
I don't understand.
Even though Lee Daniels and her, they are friends, but people
she's just
don't like
alienated.
her. Yeah, because she didn't during the when she was in the award. During the award ceremony when she was going for Precious, she did not go and do all the parties and all the press and all the things. She barely did it. She kind of brushed off. She was there's rumors that she wanted to be paid to do these things. And she was kind of rude about it. But she still won the, Oscar, but people realized
that gets you cut out. Mm-hmm. Oh, if you don't play, if you're hard to work with.
Yeah, producers
are should be. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they should. I know they get paid a ridiculous amount, but it's so much extra stuff that you don't even realize. Press tours are so grating.
A lot, and they're because you're already doing a press tour for when it first came out, and especially if it came out in the summertime. Boyhood came out in the summertime, and no, it came out during Sundance, so they were already doing it during Sundance. Then they had to do it in the summertime when it actually came out, and then redo it for 3 more months.
And if you think just in your regular life, sometimes you're just damn, I need to take a mental health day and not go to stuff. But if you can't do that in your acting career, just ruined your acting career if you do that. That's awful.
All right, for the next one, we're doing
for
our heist. For our heist,
Rosie and I just sat down.
Is Mission Impossible?
I'm not standing. I'm
Mission Impossible 5: Rogue Nation. So Tom Cruise is back and he's doing his own stunts.
Was he not in the last one?
No, he was doing his own stunts. He always does his own stunts.
I've never seen any of these.
The 4th one was very good. It's very good. It's on TV now, so. Let's check it out. All
right. Oh, hit play. I already did it.
Sorry. I did it. Bye.
The IMF is uniquely trained.
Oh, Jeremy Renner?
Yeah.
Simon Pegg.
Specialist without equal, immune to any countermeasures.
Look at Tom Cruise.
He's doing that?
Yeah.
Damn.
No, he's not.
He's 53, and he's doing his own stunts.
Alec Baldwin!
That's hilarious.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah,
Jeremy Renner in the last one did the bait and switch.
Oh, okay.
Who's that?
So I'm Jeremy Renner.
Oh.
Which one's the grifter?
Oh, that looks like a Black Widow move.
Oh my god, his hair is awful.
He's awful.
Oh my gosh.
Simon, what is he doing? Was he in the other ones?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
Who's this?
I don't know.
It sounds really familiar.
You're right.
This looks like a really
Fuji's. I think it's Fuji's.
It's the woman in the bikini, classic. This looks like a really pretty movie.
Ugh, don't smile, Tom Cruise.
Don't do anything.
Ugh.
Just don't.
Gross. Oh. That was cool. Jump kick.
I don't believe it. I bet he did one of his own stunts. Then
No,
he's
he
I
does
did
his,
all my own stunts.
No, he does all his own stunts. He had him on. They had him on a picture when he was on the climbing the. That's why his body looks like that.
Oh, hey boys, what did I miss?
Okay, I would see this. I feel
First
like
Simon Pegg.
Yeah. Although I don't know if I can stand Tom Cruise. Okay, what?
What?
Okay.
That's Marissa's character, is the hacker.
He's Simon Pegg.
Oh my god. He's on a motherfucking blade.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
That's
July
intense.
31st.
That looks fun.
It's gonna be fun.
It does.
It looks way
Yeah, like
more.
a fun summer movie. You get out of the heat. You
Go and see Mission
air
Impossible 5.
conditioning. Yeah.
Watch Simon Pegg wear.
Probably in the morning when I don't have to pay full price. But still.
Oh man, I'm moving to New York. Movies are gonna be expensive.
Yep, that's why you go in the morning and then it's like $8.
Oh, I don't want to get up.
What if,
Well, it's before noon.
if it's the 24-hour ones, would you pay less if it's like after a
They're
certain
better. I bet.
like 4 in the morning? I'd be like, I'm going.
Yeah, no.
Like,
You better
ugh.
give me a
I'd
discount.
rather get up than stay up.
Yeah, true.
You could also just get up too. 4 in the morning. Go to bed at 8.
No, but that
My
fucks
God.
up your... Okay, whatever. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. So those look good.
Yeah, those look
I'm
good.
excited
Yeah.
for them.
Maybe, yeah. I'll see them both. All right, so should we move on to box office with Rosie?
Sure. Surprise, surprise. Number 1 is Fast and Furious. Number 7. It raked in $143 million this weekend.
Insane.
I
Which
got
is
120. I said 120, so I was below.
Yeah, you were a little bit off. It doesn't say it's budget.
No,
though,
maybe they don't
which
know yet.
is- I'd be really interested to know what its budget was.
Yeah.
Look how much money it made worldwide if you like click on the Fast and Furious.
How much did it make worldwide?
So in total,
Made-
Oh my god, 388 million.
yeah.
Wow.
Jesus! And this is only its first week.
Yeah. And
That's
for an
tough.
April movie, like
Yeah.
damn.
It's like smashing records for April, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
People
mean-
were not expecting this.
It's made
right?
yeah.
No, they were.
They were?
Yeah, because of Paul Walker.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were expecting it to make a lot. They said it's made more money. It's like been at the same amount of money it's made since like 2013. Like Catching Fire. Like Catching Fire made the most money out of like since then, and then now this is like the first time it's been like a full. Like,
This is kind of weird. It's like making so much money. Probably a lot of reasons because Paul Walker died.
Yeah.
They should make a movie about like a production company like assassinating one of their actors for the money.
Ooh, write it.
keep
write
that.
it.
No one can take that
No! Edit it out. Anna's idea.
Copyrighted.
Yeah, so moving on. And number 2 is Home, which we saw this week. It brought in $27 million.
Pretty big drop.
Yeah, it
Not as
dropped
much as,
about
like,
47%. Which, yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, it brought its total gross to $95 million. It hasn't quite made back its budget yet.
in the domestics, but
In
it's
the
made it.
domestic.
It's made
It
it.
made it foreign.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, and then number 3, is Get Hard.
I hate just
12
saying
million. I don't even. Yeah, at least it went down
Yeah.
like 61%. So like that's good. And it made back its budget. Wow, it's like was not very much. It had a 40.
It's a
$million
comedy.
What?
I feel like comedies are easy and cheap to make.
I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So number 4 is Cinderella, still up there. It's 4th week. It made $10 million this weekend. Again, it went down a little bit, but
10.2 because the Divergent series.
oh, you're right, 10.2 million. And that brought its total gross to 167 million, which is
Wow.
pretty
They
damn
made a
good.
lot.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's impressive, Cinderella. Good job.
Almost 400 million in the worldwide.
Wow.
Jesus, that's so much.
But then, Fast and the Furious made that,
that in 1 week.
So, And then number 5 is Divergent series, Insurgent, with 10 million exactly. And also down this week about 53%. But it did it make it back its budget with foreign
Probably.
sales?
Actually
Probably,
made
yeah.
more foreignly than it did domestically.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so its total gross domestically is 103 million. And its foreign is 120 million, so it's made 223 million worldwide.
What's coming soon?
You got anything coming soon to see? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have the longest ride.
No.
I was like, yeah, like, it's the Nicholas Sparks movie that's coming to the
It's
Apollo.
coming to the Apollo.
White people making out.
She was like, okay, we were in the theater, and then it was like going up, and she's like, well, this is not bad, and then they were like, he goes, he's like nothing I've ever experienced before, or like we're come from two different worlds, and she like was like lost it. Like,
They clearly do not come from two different worlds. They come from like the exact same world.
Yeah.
I was expecting there to be like some time travel or some supernatural element, but there was not.
No.
Yeah.
I thought with like he was gonna be,
And then
I don't know.
in the trailer, she's like, I don't want to date someone who's like putting their life in danger every day. And I was like, oh, you know, like what's he doing? Like he in the army? Is he a firefighter? No, he's in the rodeo. He's like a rodeo clown.
Another one is I think it's Ex Machina. I think.
I haven't heard of that.
This one is like
Machina?
it came at like festival. I think South by Southwest. I think. And it's like with Oscar Isaac, who's the love of my life. Haley, stay the fuck away from him.
Who's
Sorry,
Oscar
this is like
Isaac?
a thing. He's an inside Llewyn Davis, and he was in Drive and other. And then this is one with one of the Weasley twins, the Ron Weasley, and they're like in this house. He like wins a time like. The story is he wins to go to meet the maker of this like robot, and then they show this AI, and it's like a thriller in this house.
Okay.
Then you have The Clouds of Sils Maria. My sister saw this in Cannes last year, and it's about Juliette Binoche is I think an actress, and Kristen Stewart's her assistant, and they like I don't know if there's like a whole thing with that. Danny Collins is this old movie coming out with Al Pacino, who used to be this like writer, and he like a writer back in the like times, but he's old now, and he's been like exhausting himself, and then he falls in love with Annette Bening. I don't know. I really don't care. So those are the top four movies that are coming. Oh,
guys, it's April. Nothing's.
Oh, Lost River, the Ryan Gosling movie that was apparently terrible.
Even the poster looks terrible.
And it comes out. It came out, I think, on video on demand before this.
Oh, he wrote it and directed it.
Who wrote and directed it,
Ryan.
and they said it was
honey.
bad. Like they were like giving us so much shit. Like,
Ryan.
at Toronto Film Festival, it was so funny, and I felt so bad. But he's like, I'm proud of it. Whatever.
He just wants to be a filmmaker.
Cute.
Okay. All right, well, that's it for Box Office and coming soon. So now I think we'll go into our See, Wait, Skip of the Week, which was Home. I'll hand it over to Maya to give us a little synopsis of what that movie's about.
So this movie is about, I don't want to read the Wikipedia. I'm trying to do it like the best I could do it. So it's about this alien race called the Boov, and they moved to Earth because they are trying to run away from a like scary monster that I can't remember anymore. But
Gorg.
The Gorg. And they go to different planets trying to get away from the Gorg, and they move to Earth. They take all the Earthlings off the planet, from their places to Australia. And and they put them in the community, and then they inhabit this community. Except for one girl they leave, whose name is Tip, played by Rihanna, your girl Rihanna, and she's trying to find her mom because her mom disappeared during this invasion, and you have, oh my God, what's his name? O, who is not like all the other aliens, and he's isolated from the alien race because he's too caring and everything. So they team together because he needs to leave because he did some bad shit, and Tip needs to find her mom. So they work together and they go on this journey in this really awesome slushy car.
Yeah, your description of it makes more sense than the way it actually plays.
So I guess Anna wants to go.
No, you go.
I don't know. Okay.
Unless you don't want to.
I can go. So, what did I think about this movie? Well, I thought, it's a kid's movie, so there's, a certain level of things, but I think it could have been better. That's my, our whole thing. I think, everyone's agreeing. Everyone's nodding their heads. I think this movie could have been better. And I feel always, maybe this is a really cynical side of me, but I always feel that all the movies that are with, brown people are always getting the short end of the stick. Like within either just people don't go see the movie, or it's most of the time it's like just how it's written, and that's they just don't give it that much care. So I think that's what I think. It was well animated. I loved her hair. Like I like that part was just like really like touched home, and I was like saw all those pictures with those girls. Touched home. Huh? There's like all those girls who were like standing next to the picture of her, and then like that looked like her. I'm like so great, like grateful that like we were able to have like a black woman protagonist that does not turn into anything. Yeah. So that's like a first time. So and she's spunky and all these things, but I just find that there were so many plot holes and repetition within the way that they've said things that kind of made it annoying as it went by. There's a lot of talk about her, like she kicks she's aggressive in a way that's like overly aggressive for a person towards. I mean, I understand because this happens because it's an invasion, but. Right. But she's like overly aggressive towards this and she says all the things like you're not supposed to lie to me, you're not supposed to do this to me, you're not supposed to do this, like all these things, but it keeps coming up more and more and more, and there was not an establishment of what that like we're promised not to lie to each other. I don't know, it's just like a weird, it's a weird thing with each other. I felt that there was a big chunk of the movie missing, and they tried to reveal it throughout the story, but it didn't help the story at all during that point. So when they were trying to figure out what happened to all the people, why are the people all the Earth people like were sucked up and sent somewhere, they never explained it until like sort of like in the middle of the thing, which they could have just explained, in the beginning, like all the things that happened with the booth, instead of trying to slowly reveal it out. There was like certain times, I don't know how to explain it, but because now I'm thinking about they did sometimes explain it, but there were certain times where they could have just explained everything about the booth and what they've done and everything about them, and then start settling Earth, then saying like, this is what the booth do, and then like shortcut it, and then all of a sudden, because I thought Tip was an orphan until that point, and I did not until they were like, her mom was sucked up in the air. Like, I thought she was an orphan, and I was like, why? But then like they didn't explain that really clearly. I wish they did in the beginning. Let's see. I thought the music was really good. I thought it was really jumpy and exciting for the world that it's created in, but I thought it was very overly handed, overly done, because there was at least four Rihanna songs, and the thing is, it's really hard with Rihanna because Rihanna, her voice. You can't separate her voice from, like, her singing voice from her regular voice. They sound very similar. So it sounds like Tip is singing the song. So, like, and there's a part in there where they did, like, You Make Me Feel Like, they put on one of her old songs. And it's just, like, I wish they did something different. I wish they only put the musical parts of the songs, because some of it was very beautiful, but you just knew it was Rihanna. And so now it's just a Rihanna-held film, which I feel like if they put more care into it, it wouldn't have to be like this. Let's see. Overall, it's a good movie to take for your kids for cheap, to do something, but I think it's kind of forgettable in a way. Like, I wish that it was more of a mark. Like, we will only know it because it had a black protagonist, but I wish we could know it for its whole like story and its care for the story. So I'll give it a weight.
Give it a weight?
Yeah. I'm going to give it a weight.
You want to go, Rosie, or do you rather go last?
I can go. All right. So when I went to see, we were talking about this before, I went to see Dark Matter, which is, they're these two trans Indian spoken, like, artists. They do spoken word. And one of them asked why, when we finally get a black protagonist in, like, an animated film, and we can argue about protagonists later, because I have a lot of issues with that, why her story is about imperialism and displacement of, like, Native peoples.
I didn't even think about that.
That was true,
That was, which, I think that it's a step up from movies that have the invasion narrative and then are about white people. So at least this, like...
And it shows how bad it was, not like...
Right.
Oh, it's, we're doing for...
Anything, which one. I liked. Overall, I enjoyed it, I think. I thought it was cute. It was pretty funny. Although some jokes just didn't land. And like not even with, I was in a theater with not that many people. Actually, looking back, I'm pretty sure that Dark Matter was in the theater with me. I think they were sitting in front of me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so they were talking about home.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
They were talking about home. Yeah, so I was in the theater with them, and then with, like, these kids behind me, and, like, not even they were laughing at some of the parts where you were supposed to be laughing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I liked the music, too. I thought it was interesting. Not the normal music that you would find in an animated kids film. Yeah, and it actually, it did move me. Like, it made me cry a couple times.
Really?
She's always crying.
Anna cries more than me.
Y'all need to...
yeah, I cried when she reunited with her mom, because it was like...
Cute.
It felt less like an anime. It felt more like a real movie, because it was like, you know, just the music in the background. Then the camera's like behind her, and you're like watching, like look around. And it's like, oh yeah.
That was a nice
It was
moment.
emotional because it was building for the whole movie, and
yeah,
so that made me cry. I also just appreciated that it was like a black little girl, and you know, I can go on for years about representation and how important it is, and how much I wish that I'd had this when I was a little kid. But I'll save the spiel for another time. We can talk in person about it. What else? Oh, yeah, the other thing that made me cry was when her mom is describing her to, I think, the booth. Oh. And she's like, oh, yeah, she has big green eyes and, like, beautiful brown skin. And I was like, yes, now little black girls can hear, and, like, just brown girls can hear that their skin is beautiful. Because I feel like it's, well, one, it was not something that I was told, really, when I was young. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like it's not something that you would think that people have insecurities about, I guess. But, yeah, and then, like, when I did get told it felt kind of like, I guess I didn't have the vocabulary at the time, but it felt kind of like fetishizing my skin, or, like, exoticizing it and being like, oh, your skin, it's so, you know, and, like, over the top sort of stuff. Yeah, it's, like, kind of, it verges on more, like, creepy, rather, what else? One thing, I was just kind of confused how old she was.
Me too.
She's 13 or 12.
Yeah, but they don't
she's at 7th grade.
You can't figure that out until very late in the movie, which kind of weirded me out.
Yeah, she was 7th grade, and then she was like, every time she kept saying I did good in geometry, I was like, I was not in geometry. I wasn't even close to geometry in 7th grade. She is so smart, like, which is great. Like,
it was 9th grade or something.
Yeah.
But, I liked that the point of the movie was that goodness and badness isn't just, like, ambiguous, but it's subjective, because, you know, the Boov think that they're the good ones, but it turns out in the end that they're the ones who are, like...
And being unique is not a bad thing, or making mistakes is not a bad thing.
Okay, it's my review.
Sorry. Whoa.
Critique? I didn't interrupt you. I did.
You guys can interrupt me as much as you want to.
This isn't a conversation. We can have a discussion later.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
So in terms of critique, I just wish that the movie were more about Tip. And I didn't realize we were going to spend so much time on the Boov and so much time on O and his background, or why are we unnecessarily gendering aliens? I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and I don't know, I just wanted more background on Tip, and, you know, we got to hear about, like, we got to see why O feels so isolated, and we got all these scenes about that, and then we kind of know that Tip is also feeling isolated and that she's being bullied, but we never actually see it at all. Mm-hmm. We just, like, hear about it from her, and I'm like, well, why don't... She's supposed to be the main character, or one of the main characters. Why don't we get any backstory on her? You know, all we get is, like, the photograph that she keeps looking at, and it's just repeated a bunch of times. And I'm like, all right, so this isn't really... Is she really the protagonist? Is she really? I don't know. Mm-hmm. We can debate it later, but, yeah, that's all I had to say.
Are you going to give it C, wait, or skip?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What?
My dad just basically texted me about forging my signature. Sorry.
Scratching that from the legal record.
I would give it, our audience is not the target audience for this movie, so I would say wait. But again, like Maya said, like, if you're taking little kids, yeah, definitely go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Well, the first thing I had to say about my review was exactly what Rosie left off on, which was that the protagonist was not Tip, it was O. I feel certain in this, and I was not happy about that because I don't think that's what the trailers made it out to be. I don't think that's what the marketing made it out to be. And I also don't see why that had to happen. It made it a lot more boring of a movie. It could have been a lot more interesting. I didn't care about this annoying alien that people don't like him because he's annoying, to be honest. And there's some, you could feel some sympathy for him and empathy for him, but it didn't, to me, it didn't resonate in the way that a movie about Tip meeting O would have, instead of a movie about O meeting Tip. And the role she plays in his life rather than the role he or they play in her life. So I was unhappy about that, and I was disappointed, and also didn't care much. I wasn't really invested in O's journey, which made the movie not that interesting for me. I thought it was cute. I liked the part with the cat, and it was a pretty movie. So it was not torture to watch. It was fun to sit there and watch it, but it was just not a very interesting movie to me. And also Tip didn't have any character development. Her character doesn't change at all from the start of the film. O is the one that changes. And like Rosie was saying, there's no establishment of her life or who she's was friends with before the invasion or what her life was like. So yeah, I think they screwed up and they could have made a better movie.
Yeah.
Could have been better.
We had a good time, but it's just...
Yeah, we had an okay time. Yeah, I laughed. There were some funny parts.
There was those Oberlin kids that were next to us.
Oh God, they were going crazy. They were just dying.
Yeah.
Maybe they were high.
I think they were.
Yeah.
To be honest. There was a lot of plot holes. Just to point a couple out, the Kyle guy. I love the names. That was one of the funnier parts. His name's Kyle, and then one of the other boobs' name is Tony. And they're like, "Get it together, Tony."
And Kyle, my best friend.
Oh, that was good. So those were some funny jokes. Same writer who worked on Get Smart. I looked it up, which is a movie that I liked. That's Tina Fey, Steve Carell comedy. So I saw.
No, Anne Hathaway.
And Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway and Steve Carell. Get Smart is the spy movie.
Oh, you're right. I never saw that one.
Unless it's Date Night.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Date Night. You're right. Okay. Well, I saw the comedy writing in there. But, so some of the plot holes, Kyle was, needed... The reason O's on the run is because, he sent an Evite to the Gorg, and the Evite apparently travels 40 minutes. It takes 40 minutes for an Evite to travel. Okay. Accepting that.
Through space.
Yeah, through
40.
First of all, as soon as that happened, me, Maya, and Rachel were like, why is that an option to send to the whole universe?
Yeah.
What? That doesn't make
He
any
sent all,
sense.
He accidentally sent all, which I was
universe.
How did he have all the context in the universe?
Why does he have the Gorg's email?
Yeah.
They're running from that.
What is going on?
So that didn't make any sense. And then so they're like, oh my God. And they're like, oh no, we're doomed. And I was like, I guess there's no way to cancel it because you can't cancel an email. So I was like, yeah, okay, I guess they are doomed. Accepting the fact that the weird Evite thing. But then, 15 minutes later, they're like, oh, let's just get his password and then we can cancel it. I was like, I didn't even know that was an option. Why didn't we think of this first? And then, so, for some reason, O is on the run, even though he wants to run from the Gorg too, and they could have just worked together and gotten his password easily, but they're like, no, we need to arrest him, and Kyle tries to blow him up, and I was like, why are you trying to blow him up when you want his password? If he's dead, I don't understand. Yeah. None of it made any sense.
I don't think he was trying to blow him up.
He had a gun, and then when he fired it, the whole gas station lit on fire.
But I don't...
Okay, maybe he wasn't trying to blow him up, but it didn't make any sense to me. And then it turned out O was happy to enter his password, as I suspected he would be when he got there, and so saved them, but that wasn't, I don't know, it was just a weird plot device that they could have worked a lot harder on, or even just a little harder on, and made a way better plot to, get the movie going, and made it a way better movie. But like Maya was saying, I felt like they didn't need to put in that effort. Or so, they were just like, oh, this is good enough, which is disappointing, because it could have been a good movie.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to give it, I would honestly say skip, to be honest. If you have kids, I'd say maybe go see it, especially maybe if you have, children of color. That would be nice for them to see. But otherwise, I'd say it wasn't a great film. Could have been better.
the little kid behind me, when it ended, was like, I liked that movie.
Aw.
I like that one. I was like, oh.
Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But parents, I wouldn't expect much from it.
Yeah.
It's no Toy Story.
Yeah, it's not a.
Oh, no.
It's not even the
Well, that's a whole nother
It's,
level.
it's not even like the Croods, which I saw last year, like around the same exact time, and it was funny. It was like I was like really enjoying, and then actually had like an arc because it was like a father and a daughter, and the daughter had an arc, and the father had an arc, and everyone had arcs, and it was still funny, and like I just felt like they put way more effort, and that one had 80% on Rotten Tomatoes and made a lot of money too. But it's just like,
Oh, that's good.
so like.
I think if there's just like these obvious plot holes that like don't make sense at all, like no one's trying very hard.
Yeah, like
'Cause,
these.
like,
Yeah, why didn't Tip have an arc? Her arc was like...
there wasn't.
Why
one.
didn't they cut
She
back?
drove the movie because, it was all about her getting
She
to the
literally
mall.
drove the car.
She literally, drove the plot, but she
Yeah.
had no characterization.
Nope.
Yeah, like it's weird because she understands that she didn't. Yeah, it just like didn't. It felt weird when like she hated the Boov because they came in and moved in, but like I don't know like.
We don't know where that
like where
changed.
she came in, like there's that change and then like hatred and like because then they were like I don't know, there was just a bunch of things and they didn't cut back, like you know how they did with they cut back to his life when he did stuff. Why didn't they do that with her? They could have easily done it.
I hated the fact that like her emotions were only to show that humans are more complex.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, no, let her have her emotions
Right.
and not have it be about him.
Right.
Yeah.
Her alien.
And that was
Gendering, goddammit.
It was very gendered, like the way that there was like when he went into the girls' bathroom and then was like,
Yeah.
don't go in there, that's not for, like, there was like a lot of things like girl and boy and like girl and boy, and it was like making sure you knew the difference, which was like a weird thing because like what the fuck is a boob?
Yeah, they have their number 3.
just because he's blue doesn't mean he's a boy.
Yeah, it was
Now
just
he
like,
changes colors.
and he's changing
Oh, yeah.
colors all the time. So
It's true.
But it was like a very distinct.
Yeah.
Like-
And that was an interesting point you made, Rosie, about it being like an invasion narrative. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, they totally displace everybody.
Yeah, and there's a
put
lot
them in
of
it.
people of color that was on that
a lot of
specific place where her mom
Yeah.
was hanging out.
Yeah.
Which
So-
I actually liked. The fact that it was diverse,
It was
even
nice.
in the background.
Yeah,
But-
you saw a girl with a hijab, you saw a guy with a
Yeah.
turban. I was like, this is amazing.
Mhm.
And then, they did, when Tip was found out that she's from Barbados, and they moved here from the place they were to, I think it was New York.
Yeah, that sounded like a really interesting
Story, but
Yeah.
it was just said, I'm from Barbados. That's a huge thing. If you're coming
Right.
from an island, a tiny island, and you're moving when you're like 12 or 13
Yeah.
to like a big city that you don't know anyone, how is that like supposed to be like?
I'd love to see Tip in school, like, get a scene of her
Yeah.
finding out that isolation rather than that one line. Like,
Yeah.
I
Have a
fit
Tip
in.
movie.
Yeah. Tip's
Origin story.
Tip spin-off, what the movie should have been.
Tip Origins,
Yeah.
the prequel before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that could kind of bring us into our discussion, which is, do we think kids' movies need to be good movies? Is there a reason that kids' movies should be, like, quality films, or is it just kids' movies need to make kids happy? That's the point of them. They're for kids. And then I guess kind of follow-up question: what makes a good kids' movie?
Well, you know it's interesting that, like, if you think about fairy tales, and the whole point of fairy tales was to teach kids lessons, which I feel like has kind of gotten away from that a little bit.
Yeah.
Since now it's like, we're going to market fairy tales to adults, which is, like, fine. And I think that adults should learn shit from media, too. But, yeah, I think well, it depends how you define good. But I think they should be informative, and I think they should... give kids values and teach them how to treat people and whatever. And, like, you can have movies that are just purely entertainment, I guess. But I don't know why we talk about movies so differently than other forms of media. You know, like books. You read a book to your kid. It's like, yeah, sometimes you want to amuse them, but you also, I feel like people agree on the fact that when you read books to kids, they're getting something out of it and they're learning something from it. And I think it's the same. I think we have to have a talk about, like, media literacy, and because it's, we're in the digital age, and I think that yeah, movies should be good, is my roundabout way of saying that.
Yeah.
But define good.
You're spending so much money on these productions. They spent
True.
$135 million on this. And I'm like, where is that? Like, did $50 million, $100 million go to Rihanna alone? Like, did they, like, not, like, what, did they not pay the writers enough to be, like, and I think, people say, like, it's, I always get frustrated with the saying, like, oh, well, it's a kid's movie, it's not for me, therefore it doesn't, like, not matter, and it's, like, I should not care about it, but I always care, because it's a movie, and it's, like, if it's, I don't want to waste I don't want to waste a kid's time seeing a movie that, I mean, of course they'll be like, it doesn't matter to them, but, like, I think kids know when something's good or not. I think kids recognize, and if you're an adult that has to take a kid to a movie, you want it to be good and, like, able to be, you know, consumable for you, because then you can recommend it for other people who can't afford to see it, like, you know, movies. Because I go, if it's just a silly kids movie, I would just wait for it to come out on Netflix or on whatever, like, platform, and just wait for it to, like, watch it then. If it's like an action movie that, like, my kid would enjoy and I would enjoy, then I would spend the $20-$25 and then maybe more than that, because you're buying all the shit that they have to get when they go to the movies. So I don't know, like, because I'm trying to think, like, if there's different tiers of really good movies, of kids movies, because we were discussing, Anna and I were discussing what films, like, good, like, animated films were, like, from our childhood that was really good, and I was, like, thinking of all of them, and the most of them I've seen were really good.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say, like, they've hold up over the years. I've, like, don't think of them as, like, terrible or, like, something, like, cringeworthy. Maybe
Lilo
stuff
and
on...
Stitch.
Yeah,
I just rewatched Hercules the other day.
Yeah.
Great movie. And, like, Toy Story and...
Yeah, we're just, like... So I think they have to hold up. And I guess what makes a good kids movie is, I don't know... I always love puns. I love funny things. I think, like, I really hate, like, toilet humor, and that, like unless it's, like, well-placed toilet humor, but, like, when it's, like, regular toilet humor and it's not placed well, just because it's, like, antics, or slapstick that's not placed well, I get really upset. Like, I get frustrated when, like, they slip and fall, and then they get up, and they smack their head against the thing. I'm like, let's not. like, can we move away from this? So, I don't know. What makes a good kids movie is if it's enjoyable by the 4 quadrants, and it's gonna make you, like, you know, and it's enjoyable by...
Can you clarify the 4 quadrants?
The 4 quadrants is a term, like an industry term, because to hit, like, you know, the key demographic, 18 to 49, and it hits, like, men and women, like, I think it's, like, 18 to 25 to whatever, and below that. So it hits, like, boys, like boys and girls, men, like, women, like, adults. So, like, 25 to 49 or 60, and under 25. So if it hits that kind of 4 quadrant, I think that's how it goes.
Wait, what are the 4 quadrants?
So it's like
boys under 18.
I think people like 18. I think it's 18 to 25, and then 25 to 49 or something like that. I think that's how it goes.
That's
or like 2.
But
and
one
then
for each gender.
One for each gender.
That's so stupid.
So like for example, if we're thinking of like the Avengers, they would say we're hitting all 4 quadrants. But if you're thinking about a Nicholas Spark movie, we're going to hit this market of, you know, like we're going to only hit the women, like 2 quadrants of the film. Sort of like that. I think if you look, we'll look it up more in detail. But yeah, I don't know. It just
Interesting.
I don't know what I've like. I'm thinking like good film, like animated movies. They make me think. They make me. I don't know, like. Ugh. It's so hard because I'm trying to think, like, what's the last...
You mean recently, or...
Recently, like... No, like, recently, what made me feel... Up makes you feel because it's, like... I don't know, it's the journey of this man who's gone through so much, and, like, then he meets this, like, his life is reinvigorated again by this, like, little boy and this dog. And, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think, I took, you know... I think Toy Story 3 played on emotions because I was growing up, and that was a thing.
That was a
great
film.
I want to know what. Yeah, I want to know what a little kid thinks of that film because I wanted to know like
good question.
Because I went with a 6-year-old and like my family, but so like I went with a 6-year-old and like she didn't get certain jokes that I was laughing at, but that's just because that was playing to a bigger audience. But I just wanted to know what, I don't know. She's now 10. What what she thinks about Toy Story 3, or like what do these appeal the same way? Because Frozen appeals in that way, like love your sister, your sister is like true love, but it's like. I mean, it doesn't appeal to me. That's like a whole thing because I have way more like.
But there are a lot of people our age who love it too.
They love Frozen because it's girl power. Yeah, rah rah. Shish blah.
I want to jump in here. I think what makes a kids movie a good movie is the same thing that makes other movies a good movie. Character development, a plot moving forward, like complex characters. So I think I agree with Rosie that. These movies should have, like, a message, and I think that message gets lost if the movie's not good. If there's not character development, like, if we're not learning, if Tip's not developing as a character, I don't know what message is really going out to, like, if little girls watching this movie are really getting any message, if Tip's just kind of there. I mean, I'm sure it's really nice to see, but I don't know if any message is getting across, especially if the characters aren't relatable. Like, I don't know who... It's kind of hard to relate to I feel like. So, I don't think this movie did a good job of that. And, yeah, I don't know. I think, like Maya was saying, and like Rosie was saying, movies should be good. Like, you're putting a lot of money into them. Yeah. You're making an art form. Like, even though it's a kid's movie, and maybe the kids will laugh at the bathroom humor or the jokes, they're not the ones spending the money. Mm-hmm. And they're not the ones that are going to, they're not the ones in charge of deciding how movies get remembered, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe they'll remember the movie, but I'm not sure that kids seeing this movie will remember this movie home, because I don't think that people are going to talk about this movie. I don't think it's going to get a sequel. I don't think, much is going to come of it. So, I think, if you're a filmmaker, you want to make a good film. Even if it's a kid's movie.
I feel like even a movie like Despicable Me had more characterization and it was just better than this movie. It was so upsetting.
Which is frustrating.
And now Despicable Me is getting the Minions, which looked so stupid.
My God.
It looks so stupid. Okay, so I made a joke because they were they followed the most evil person before they met Gru. Yeah. And so they were following...
Which I thought he created them.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Yeah, so they followed Napoleon, and they followed someone else that was evil during the history, and then they just skip over. I'm like, so they did not follow Hitler? Did they say, well, maybe we'll just, take a tide, we'll just turn around.
Don't say stuff like that when I have water in my mouth.
Because then they all of a sudden went to New York in 1968, and I was completely confused.
That does not look like a good movie.
Oh, God.
Those things seem kind of Home wasn't pointless. There was nice moments to it, and I think it did kind of have a nice story with Tip and her mom that was, sweet. But, that kind of movie, that looks completely pointless to me. That's just, images on a screen. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
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 It's not even like WALL-E, where I was there was, a hidden thing in WALL-E. WALL-E was, serious shit. That was, you're gonna fuck up the planet of humans.
But the thing about that movie, too, is, that's what can happen. That's the kind of, pointless moneymaker movie you can make after you make a good film, like Despicable Me. Which was, I didn't see it, but I heard that it was,
I saw the first
a good
one,
film.
But I didn't, I mean, it's not for me, but...
But I don't think Home's going to get that, just because I feel like they didn't try hard enough. And so that's not what's going to happen.
It was made by all dudes. I just realized, I think it was directed by a man, it was written by two men.
Maybe that's why the protagonist was, they're like, we want to, make a movie about, a little black girl, but they're like, but we don't know anything about that.
7 girls are mean.
Yeah.
Great line.
All right.
So what's going on?
I don't know what's
going
on campus.
No.
You got anything?
No, I thought there was going to be, that's for next week, because The Hunting Ground's coming next week.
Midnight Movies at the Apollo this week?
No.
All right. I'm not feeling any... There's, a lot going on this week, but not a lot of movie-related.
But I guess I can just say something. So, last week, 48-hour film series, a 48-hour film event, the Oberlin Film Series is doing. Make a film in 48 hours with your friends. Sign up. oberlinsfilmseries@gmail.com. Send in your, information of, who's in your group, 2 to 5 people, and then we'll send you instructions. So yeah, do that, and that'll be sign up is ending April 15th next week, and we'll be doing it April 17th through the 19th. So.
Oh, and Harry Potter Alliance is holding a screening of We Are Wizards, which is a documentary about the Harry Potter fandom. I've never actually seen it. Have you seen it, Rosie?
Nope.
Okay, well.
Have I?
I think it's a documentary about either J.K. Rowling or Harry Potter fans.
I think I have seen it. Maybe.
Okay. It's on YouTube. It's available on YouTube, but we're
That
doing a
sounds
screening
familiar.
of it in Wilder 111, Wilder 112. What's the screening
We can
room?
put it
101, the big one, like
Yeah,
the
101. 101. And that's going to be Friday at 10, I think. So, this Friday, the 10th, at 10 p.m.
The improv
So if you
conference
wanna
is coming
see
in
that.
this week.
Yeah, that's kind of sort of like entertainment film.
Entertainment.
Sort of, yeah.
That'll be good. I'll definitely go to that. And it looks like on here on the Oberlin events calendar, the last Naruto the movie.
Oh,
is on-
Naruto.
How do you say it?
Naruto.
Naruto is coming this Sunday, 7:30 at the
You
Apollo.
pay $15 and you might get a poster.
It's $15.
$15?
Yeah, it says
Why?
$15 on the thing.
Why is
I
it
don't
like
know.
exclusive?
I think it's like an exclusive. I think it's an
You
exclusive.
can't
film.
find it anywhere else.
I don't know if you can find it anywhere else.
All right. Well, I don't know. If you.
So if you're feeling it,
I'm not feeling it.
I'm not feeling it, but if you guys are feeling it, you guys feel it. So go ahead.
so yeah.
Well said.
I think we're gonna see Fast and Furious next week.
Yeah, let's see
Feel it.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the next Nicholas Sparks
We don't want to see the
movie.
Nicholas Sparks
God,
movie,
no.
so
With
we're
the-
gonna see Fast and
The
Furious.
siblings from very different worlds.
The siblings, the very white siblings
From two different worlds.
from two different worlds, and an old guy and his
It's like,
memories.
I'm from this part of the ranch, and you're from that part of the ranch. It's very
And an
different.
old guy's in there, and you know, in his life,
Guy in there.
he's
There's
there
so
because
much-
he's
I wanted
cheat. They
time travel, I'm telling
rescued
you. So much
him, and then
better.
he she reads the letter, and it's about his like life in the 40s or
Wow.
50s, which look like the Notebook.
rather hear
So it's
about
all in the same universe, guys. It's all in
It
the same
sounds like
universe.
so much different.
Illuminati confirmed.
Obiegame. I don't know what that is. All right, I think that's all we got for you today. Chick Stick Flicks listeners. I'm gonna sign off. Bye.
Bye.